So before you watch this video, I had some trouble with my audio and I tried to resolve it, and I thought I will add it in the video. So this is the microphone. I think it won't give me any trouble anymore. Hi friends. I wanna fix up this old saw table. It's quite a dangerous machine, even though it has a blade guard here and it has that back thingy, it has it, but it is dangerous. I'm only using it to cut small size logs in half for, I don't know, natural building or whatever, or maybe some desky, some planks I mean. But lately it's binding. Like when I'm trying to cut, it just barely goes through, and the belts are burning even though I have two belts on it. So I want to take this off, I want to sharpen it, and I want to look at the gears because they do make a bit of sound. I'll give you a close-up. I'm not able to take this off yet. I can maybe heat it up, but don't have the tool. Let's first take this thing off and then we'll see. So it's righty tighty, lefty loosey, but with a saw table it's always the opposite. Something with self-tightening, I don't know. I just remember that it is like that, so I have to turn the opposite way with a really big wrench. Pretty one though. Come on. Made in USSR. So at least something good came out of that country. So let's try. Today it's righty loosey. I'm directly gonna put the pipe on. And it should go not that troublesome. Because I did this last year. But it does give trouble. So you cannot see it, but You can see. The axle is turning, but the blade not. Look. So I put a pipe clamp on the other side, and actually wondering, oh, sorry for that. I'm actually wondering if it should spin like that or that is a problem. There we go. Not the prettiest bolt I've seen. So I think this type of bearing, you need to have some type of tool that puts here the two little points, and then you unscrew this. But no normal person has that. So yeah, I have to figure that out. So I found the old grinder key thing, and I'm just gonna ram. So lefty loosey this time, I assume. Let's see how far we get. That goes surprisingly easy. Oh, that's cool. So let's see. Tried to Google the right tool. I couldn't really find it in Polish, and somehow it's just a normal bearing inside. I thought this would be old. It looks rather decent. Some bearings have a little bit more play than others. Sideways there's no play. I don't know. I'm gonna keep this one. So let's screw that back together. Or yeah, let me at least get some new grease. I don't have a jar of grease, but this will do. Whatever. I'm surprised how easy this went. I think the previous owner did service his stuff. It was quite a cheap sawmill, like this is 7.5 kilowatt engine, 10 horsepower, and it was 200 euros the whole thing, and that was, what was it, years ago? I would say it's cheap. Where is my hammer? It doesn't turn incredibly easy though. We'll see. I'm gonna check the other side. See if I can get it off. Okay. This thing has to go off. I need to take off quite a bit, so we'll start with the grinder and then we'll see. So the saw blade is off, and I decided the saw blade is the problem. It's not super sharp, and the first thing I like to do is to check if a couple of teeth are sticking out. So I mark like a spot where I measure it. Let's say it's here. So this teeth sticks a tiny bit out, not much. Tiny bit, tiny bit, tiny bit. This I do for all of them. This one barely sticks out. And I will start grinding the points off, that they are flush with this. And then see if it works better. Like some people make an angle on it. I can later grind a little angle on it. I first want to have all the points at the same, so there's not like one teeth that actually does most of the sawing. It's actually funny if you think about a saw blade. How can one teeth stick out more than the rest? It will, because the teeth that sticks out the most will be sawing the most, so it will get dull the fastest, right? It, like you would say, it would grind off the fastest. Like when you're wood turning, you're only turning the parts, the wooden part that sticks out, and then you get after a while a round circle. So I don't know why it isn't the case like that with a saw blade, but I'm not an expert in anything. So I'm gonna do that. If you know, tell me, because I actually think it's interesting. And I'm not a great sharpener guy, at least that's not my skill at all. But this saw blade is for sure fucked if I cannot manage to make it cut again. I just bring it to the shop, or I just buy a new one. They're the thick ones. This is 4 millimeters thick. They are like 45 euros, so nothing too serious, and I'm cutting like 95% of the time pine, so that's super soft. So yeah, let's try. So what I like to do, I'm not sure if I can recommend this, I don't think so, but you have those really old flap discs, and I mean like really old, like there's basically nothing left, and they're really good for polishing steel. So that's what I'm gonna do, because there's some rust on it and a lot of tar. So yeah, let's see how that works. So that's much smoother. And I assume it's gonna slide much better through it. You saw there were almost no sparks, so the blade doesn't get thinner or unequal more than it is already. So let's do the other side. Like, you have now different marks, but the saw lines, the circular lines, they're gone now. And the resin is gone, so I think it helps. Is it worth your time? For learning purposes, or if you otherwise would be watching television, then I think it is worth your time. So the back cut on almost all the saw blades I have is just basically straight, and only the front side is in an angle. So I think I'm just going to use the angle grinder for all the back ones, go through that, and then use a file for, let's say, a little bit more precision on the actual cut itself. And I want to inspect every point by hand, because after the angle grinder I'm sure that a lot of the points are not perfect, or at least not great. So yeah, we'll see. So because most of the teeth are still terrible, I'm still busy with the angle grinder. But like the result with those flap discs it's not bad. Like this one has an angle that way, and it sticks out a little bit that way. Yes. Then the one up goes a little bit that way. Not so much, like it's a tiny bit, but the angle's that way. Then the next one is that way. And they already look quite sharp. So maybe I'm only gonna use the angle grinder. And we'll see if that works. So the flap disc for some reason does not heat up the metal, so that's quite cool. So this one has the angle that way because it points out this way, like the set of the teeth sticks out that way, and then this one sticks out that way, etc. So this one goes that way. So the problem with that is that goes perfect, but for some reason those two, like this one clearly goes that way, and then this one is a bit neutral for some reason. But I cannot change it, because if I move this one to the right, then this one has to go to the left, and then all the teeth I have to do. So yeah, I don't know how to fix that. Maybe that's because I have an uneven or even amount of teeth. Let me think. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So left, right, left, right. Yeah, I think if I have an uneven amount of teeth, there's always like 2 that go in the same direction. So yeah, let's see if it cuts. So guys, it was nice knowing you. If I die, it would be a very short YouTube channel, but I sort of trust it, so let's see what happens. I'm going to start with something very soft, very long, so I'm far away, because this thing is probably one of the most dangerous things that every homestead tends to have. Like a lot of grandpas lost fingers, or they got shot in the head by a piece of wood or something like that. I got something bigger. there are some longer shavings, but also quite a lot of like 1-2 millimeter stuff. So yeah, pretty sure you could do this more efficient or better, etc. But it did work. And I was thinking of upgrading this thing because the engine is awesome, the axle is awesome, the frame is awesome. Just this system, it's sort of limited to what you can carry. That's the first thing. And the saw blade gets, this is already 50 centimeters, and so effectively you can cut a log that is like 23 centimeters, something like that. You can cut off like one side, flip it, etc. But yeah, because I was thinking of like installing a track that I can put the log in the track and then saw more precise, or I just only try to make beams, or only desky, I don't know. I just have to think about it. So yeah, I thought this would be a longer video because I thought there would be quite a bit wrong with it, but so it was the saw blade. And I forgot. So please subscribe, thumbs up, comment, share, or not if you don't like it.